So much of the genius's impact, I think, is in getting us beyond the serene in charge guy. The guy that a Los Angeles sports writer said he's got the earphones on, but he's probably listening to Mozart, not to advice from the booth.
Well, there was so much that was missed in that image of Bill Walsh. For example, this was a tough guy. This was a guy who was a boxer,
right?
Who
right.
Almost became a professional boxer.
And there's a story in there where he floors somebody.
Yeah, well, once when he was
remember that.
An assistant coach at Berkeley, he was driving around in the Berkeley Hills with his wife and another couple in the off season, and some guy passes him in a sports car, cuts him off. Bill honks. The guy flips him the bird. So Bill follows the guy finally into a parking lot, gets out, offers him the opportunity to retract his one-finger salute. The guy who was tall, 6 inches taller than Bill and probably 50 pounds heavier than him, and Bill was no small guy, didn't particularly feel like retracting what he had done. Mm-hmm. So Bill knocked him out right there in that lot. Boom. Got back in the car and drove off. And when he was 65, he got in his last public altercation when he was 65. So this is a guy who
a fighter. Damn it!
This is a fighter. This is not the professor that we all grew used to seeing.
You also have a thumbnail description of him. You say precise, determined, very confident, without ever being cocky.
Yeah, he was. He had a remarkable presence that way, and obviously I explore the issues behind the scenes
sure.
That in his tormentedness in many ways. But you never got a sense of that when you were being coached by him. And you never got a sense of that, of course, when you were watching him play. This was a man who was totally in his element and totally in charge. And that was the phrase that really characterized him. He was a guy who was in charge. He ran everything at the 49ers. And his genius was not just that he invented the West Coast offense. He was also perhaps the best general manager in the history of the National Football League. And he set a whole new model for running a sports franchise as the Niners president. So,
well, he also set a whole new model for draft. Well, and I read those sections of your book very carefully about moving up, moving down, moving sideways. I still don't understand what the heck he was doing.
Well, what you see is the end product. And he, in the space of 10 years of running the 49ers draft, drafted 3 players who ultimately became recognized as the best ever to play their positions, namely Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott, and Jerry Rice. And show me another general manager in the National Football League who had anything even remotely resembling that kind of success.